guys, how are you all doing? If you're new here, welcome. My name is Krazy Ken, and one thing I love to do on this channel is get disappointed. And today is no different. Back in January, I received an email about ProPods Max, which simply looks like an AirPods Max knockoff. And of course, I eat the stuff up, so I bought a pair. And I know many people have been asking me if they arrived yet, so I'm just gonna pull the band-aid off quick and say no, they're still not here. But there's still plenty to talk about. Heck, I even went out of my way to buy a rather expensive pair of Apple's official AirPods Max just so I can compare the two. So I personally think this whole ProPods thing is a scam. Now, I understand there is a market for knockoff products. You see them everywhere. Especially with frickin' AirPods. There's like a zillion ripoffs of them. There is some legitimacy to that stuff. Even in my personal experience, the product at least arrived. But when it comes to the ProPod situation, it's a little bit different. So let's dive in. So, as luck would have it, a significant development happened after I taped this episode, of course. A few hours ago, Pods Pro DM'd me on Twitter saying they are 95% near complete with the product, and they even refunded me my $120. I appreciate them being polite and providing me updates, but I still see many sketchy things happening here. So, now that you know that, let's proceed with the episode. So let's dive in. The company behind this product is iPods Pro, but they later changed their name to Pods Pro. The product on their website looks exactly like Apple's official AirPods Max. So Pods Pro either A, did a great job at making an exact replication of Apple's product, or B, Pods Pro merely copied Apple's official images and videos, so the fact that they're not showing any actual product photos of their knockoff pair of AirPods is a huge red flag. The product may not even exist at all, but we'll circle back to that in a sec. And best of all, they claim you can get the full experience at half the cost. And that includes the digital crown, active noise cancellation, transparency mode, and adaptive EQ. But oddly enough, they say ProPods Max lasts 5 to 6 hours on a single charge, which would not be the full experience compared to Apple. And if you order right now, you get 50% off, bringing the price down to $119.99. And later, of course, after I purchased them, the price dropped down to $99.99. So they claim to be able to do all the stuff that the official AirPods can do for $100. So they're either lying out their butts or they have some wizard engineers over there. Now here's where things get a little different compared to my other investigations. I didn't reach out to them at all, but suddenly they started messaging me on Twitter. In addition to that, they also publicly tweeted me. They said, "Thanks a lot for your order, you have a cool YouTube channel, and thanks for sharing the news. You're going to love your very own ProPods Max. Love from LA." Now, I've never had a legitimate company ever say love from LA, so I thought that was a little odd, but anyway. The company also followed me on Twitter. In fact, I was the first account they followed. And not only that, they took a screenshot of my purchase tweet and they put it on their website. I guess I made it to the big leagues now. Now again, I understand there is a market for knockoff tech products. You guys do you, whatever. I'm not gonna get in the way of that. But if someone orders a knockoff product, they should still at least receive it. The company has a fiduciary responsibility if they take someone's money to give them the product that the person bought. And in the ProPod situation, that's not happening. About 5 days after I purchased the headphones, I received an email saying, "We appreciate you. Unfortunately, things are a little backed up on our end. Our production on your very own ProPods Max is near complete." Near complete. It's been 2.5 months since I received that email, so apparently we have different perspectives on what near means. Now this next part is problematic. They claimed that they've received over 10,000 orders since the initial batch. Initial batch implies they've made sales before. There's also reviews and ratings on their website, further implying that customers have purchased this product and received it. But now suddenly they're backed up? And overall, this whole timeline just doesn't make sense, and I'll explain why. The Pods Pro website, with all of the product photos on it, launched within about a month of Apple launching the official AirPods Max. So let's assume that the knockoffs actually do exist. And there was no official preview from Apple saying, hey, these are gonna be the features, this is what it's gonna look like, get ready to buy them 5 months from now. No, they launched them and they were ready to go on sale. So how did Pods Pro know exactly what these were going to look like and what features were going to be implemented? Even with the leak community factored in, there was still nothing super concrete about how these things were going to look, feel, sound, and function. You had a month to make this work? They're either lying, which they are, or they have some wizard engineers there. And it doesn't just stop at the engineering. If you sold these products before, which you claim to have done, not only do you need to be able to engineer this thing and design it and make it look perfect within a month, but you also need to have manufacturing all complete and logistics all complete and all the other stuff that I don't even know of to be able to ship this stuff out to people. So if you were able to do all of that stuff magically within a month, but now you're suddenly backed up and it's been 2.5 months and you haven't shipped anything out, at least to me, well, that just seems really fishy. And I'm not the only one who's upset here. There are some reviews on the website from other unhappy customers who haven't received the product. But the weird thing is, they still left a 5-star rating. Then I got another email saying our estimate on the shipment is within the next 5 to 7 business days. That email was sent 9 weeks ago. I just realized they're maybe in the right here. I made the mistake of assuming they meant 5 to 7 Earth business days. Maybe they're talking about another planet. Like Venus, for example. A day on Venus is like over 200 days on Earth, so 5 to 7 Venus days is actually about 4.6 Earth years, so I guess we do have a little more time to wait. You gotta read that fine print, guys. Then I got another email a few days later, and they said we will start shipping everyone's orders out. Stay tuned for an email with your tracking number. That was about 2 months ago, and you guessed it, I still haven't received the tracking number. Then I received another email saying Chinese New Year delayed the shipping. And this is also when they announced the slight rebranding and the name change from iPods Pro to Pods Pro. Then the emails stopped. I went back to the Twitter DM conversation that they started, and I asked them, what the hell's going on? They said we're hoping everything ready to go this week. And of course, that was a month ago. So then I just straight up said, this is a scam, isn't it? To which they replied, not at all. Development was a little delayed. We were perfecting the synchronicity of our new chip. New chip? What the heck does that even mean? You claim to have sold these before. And you claim to have taken over 10,000 orders, yet you're still in the engineering stage. They also claimed they're working with Unbox Therapy on a video. I didn't believe that at all, so I challenged that statement. But then they provided me a screenshot of them communicating with Lou's team, so okay, maybe that was legit. But that just proves that they inquired about an unboxing. That doesn't mean they're actually shipping them one. It doesn't mean Lou actually has a pair in his hands right now. Now, to fact check, I contacted Lou's team just to make sure this is kosher, but I didn't receive a reply. Nobody loves me. But my biggest piece of evidence against Pods Pro lies in the reviews. Not only do some of them predate the public existence of AirPods Max, but there's also a 5-star review by Adolfo. I received a tip about the Italian text in the background, Gianluca Bacci. I found his Instagram profile with the exact same photo. And look at that, AirPods Max. I have to give a huge thanks to Aojin for emailing me about this information. Go check out his tech YouTube channel, and he did a video on Pods Pro as well, which gives a little bit of a different perspective on a few things I didn't cover, so go check that out too. But I'm not giving up yet. I want to see how far this can go. The reason why I bought the official pair is because I want to compare them with the knockoffs and see how good or bad the knockoffs actually are. And I'm not stopping there. I do have a bit of an undercover operation planned as well, but I can't actually do any of that fun stuff until the product actually arrives. So Pods Pro, please get this product shipped to me. But while we wait, I have other cool scam busting stuff coming up, including the multivolts charger. I've been receiving a lot of requests for this lately. It's a charger that claims it can charge your iPhone in 15 minutes and heal your battery. That sounds like oodles of fun. Also, I'm launching a new podcast soon, so be on the lookout for that. It's perfect for any Steve Jobs or Apple fan. You guys are gonna love it. So let me know what you think about the ProPods, and if you want to help me buy more knockoff stuff to talk about on the Computer Clan, feel free to pledge to my Patreon, and in exchange, I will give you some awesome perks in return. Thanks for your support. And hey, if you like this episode, you know what to do. Thanks for sticking with me, catch the crazy, and pass it on.